First of all, I want to thank Nicola and Shixiang for organizing the workshop. And I'm very happy to meet some of my old friends and also lots of new friends here. And the essay I will report today is a very primary draft on an annotation to Yue Ling in the Southern Song dynasty. It is one of my several case studies to rethink the usefulness of the theoretical framework of correlative thinking and correlative cosmology, which got much attention in the sinology throughout the 20th century. What is Yue Ling, or monthly ordinances as translated by Francisca Brie in the 1980s? Yue Ling is the name of the sixth chapter in the Book of Rites, which was recognized as the Confucian classic since the 2nd century. Today, we have an English translation by James Legge, and he called Yue Ling as proceedings of government in the different months. It describes the phenomenon and the king's proceedings in 12 months and the disasters caused by wrong ordinances, which is not fit to the given month. All different kinds of phenomenon in each month are connected with each other through the theory of yin-yang and 5 phases, which was described by commenters Zheng Xuan and Kong Yingda in the Han and Tang dynasties as a change of qi in different seasons. You can see from the left image, it's a pattern of Yue Ling in the 18th century with a further division of 1 year into 24 seasons. But the main idea of Yue Ling remains in the pattern, which is that human work should be arranged according to the movements of qi in any given month or season. However, the meaning of Yue Ling has changed through history. During the Han and Tang dynasty, as I mentioned before, Zheng Xuan and Kong Yingda explained the movements of qi in their comments. The order of phenomenon in the natural world is a sign of order of qi's movements. They gave qi xu, which is the order of qi, the significance for the king to make proper ordinances. And not only Zheng Xuan in the Han, Kong Yingda in the Tang, but also Legge in the 19th century, all hold the idea that the actor who carry out the ordinances is the king. And the Chinese term Ling is nothing but the governmental orders or proceedings or ordinances. I give you an example from the comments of Kong Yingda. At the last paragraph in the first month of spring, it describes what will happen if the king does not give a proper ordinance. And Kong Yingda noted, it talks about the giving of the ordinances in a certain month. If the king gives the ordinances proper to the season, the qi will be ordered. But if not, there will be disasters. So what is the connection between Yue Ling and the correlative cosmology? Or what is correlative cosmology? John Henderson, in his 1983 book on the decline of Chinese cosmology and 2010 paper on the Chinese concept of nature, discussed the issue. He said, for Chinese cosmologists, as well as their counterparts, counterparts in most other pre-modern cultures. The key to understanding order in the universe was correspondence among various orders of reality or realms of the cosmos, such as the human body, the body politics, and the heavenly bodies. It assumes that these related orders are homologous, that they correspond with one another in number, in kind, in structure, or in some other basic respect, and that they form a continuum. He gave a very brilliant historical analysis on this cosmology and realized that the correlative cosmology in general declined after the Han, at least in higher cultures. Although it may have dominated Chinese philosophy during the Han period, it was marginal to Song Neo-Confucianism. In his analysis, Yue Ling was used as a very important evidence for his theory of decline. He found that since the Tang, occasionally it arose criticism and questions to Yue Ling, but not until the 17th century there was a much clearer sign to break the rule, not in higher cultures, but in law practice. Dirk Bolt, who worked on the Chinese history of law, found that in the Qing dynasty, the death penalty was not totally rely on the ideas of Yue Ling. The latter had a rule that you should carry out the death penalty only in autumn, because the qi in autumn has the characteristics of killing, which means 秋主杀气. And this means that from around the Song to the Ming dynasty, there was no metaphysical talking about Yue Ling. But the case of the death penalty found in the 17th to 18th century also reminds me that if we stop searching related comments within the so-called higher cultures, but make an examine within the using of Yue Ling, should we find anything to explain the metaphysical void during the period? So with this purpose, I found an annotation to Yue Ling in the 13th century. The author's name was Zhang Fu. We know very little about this man, but we know he was vice president of the Imperial College in the period of Li Zong. We also know that his purpose of making this annotation to Yue Ling is just to send it to the empire. It was made in the year of 1234. Li Zong lived a very complicated life. He was praised of his contribution to making the Neo-Confucianism as orthodox or official learning, but also criticized as a licentious person in his older age. In the year 1234, Li Zong was in his age of 29 and was a young and aspiring emperor. So how would Zhang Fu explain the movements of qi to Li Zong? Compared to the comments in the Han and Tang, there were two key changes by Zhang Fu. The first change was that he started to emphasize the relationship between the order of qi and human body, actions, and morality, which could not be seen in the previous comments. The second change is the decline of the idea of disaster. I give you an example, also the annotation to the last paragraph in the first month of spring. Please notice the difference from the previous notes. It said, as for the term 行令, someone consider heaven as the actor who gives his orders, while someone considers the king as the actor. However, the disorder of heaven's performances is caused by the king's disordered orders. Thus, there is no difference that who is the actor. If heaven performs the summer's order, then the weather of the first month of spring will be like that of summer. If heaven performs the autumn's orders, the weather of the first month of spring will be like that of autumn. The tea in the spring is warm, but the tea in the autumn is cold. When it should be warm, but it is actually cold, there will be the plague. Apparently, there was no discussion about how the king's wrong orders would cause the disasters, although to the least extent he still agreed on the traditional theory of the disasters. Instead, he used the movements of tea in different seasons to explain why there will be these disorders in any given month. This understanding of Zhang Fu's reading of Yue Ling is in accordance with what we can see in his letters to the emperor. In the first letter, he redefined the usefulness of and function of Yue Ling before his age. He said that Yue Ling was an article to record the orders of the circulated things in 1 year, and one can learn from it the heaven's performance and then faithfully obey it. And in another letter, he told the emperor that he will give the Yue Ling text and his annotation 1 chapter per month. By doing this, the emperor can read it when he is relaxing himself and gradually get to an understanding of all the traditional knowledge and spirit. Thus, he called Yue Ling as the method or technology to self-cultivation. To sum up, we then get two different patterns of Yue Ling and the movements of qi. The one at the left emphasizes the discipline of heaven, and the connections of heaven and man are limited to external role, and the movements of qi and the signs to show the movements are treated as some mandatory rules and constraints. The continuousness of nature and man emphasizes some kind of constructiveness. On the contrary, the pattern at the right shows a much internalized connection between heaven and man. The movements of qi affect both human and non-human stuff, and instead of media through which man gets the knowledge of heaven, qi, and its movements in different seasons, are treated as the reason for abnormal phenomena. Now we come to a very primary conclusion and much more further questions. After all, Zhang Fu's ideas still belong to some kind of higher cultures, although we can finally move our steps from philosopher's minds to his actions. As my next step, I want to further investigate the related issue in the agriculture books and the local gazetteers to examine the usefulness of the correlative cosmology theory by bringing the locality of Yue Ling into our accounts. So this is the end, and thank you very much.